Welcome in another week, another edition. It's the SPO Ballers League Week in Review here in the SPO Championship Studios. Hi, I'm Mr. Romero, and we are going over another week of the SPO Ballers League. Now, this week, Memorial Day week, took up Monday, so there's only one day of games. Two exciting games. One had version 3 going up against Next Gen. Next Gen struggling. Version 3 right about 500. But the thing that we keep seeing over and over is version 3 simply falling apart in the second quarter, mostly due to bad passing, bad shots, just not playing good basketball. Ryan Wolf, the leading scorer in the league, even his scoring couldn't overcome the poor play. But let's not just blame it all on version 3 inability to play defense or offense in the second quarter. Next Gen had an absolute onslaught of scoring in that game on Wednesday. You had Ronnie Wyatt and Jacob Chambers hitting their season highs. Ronnie, let's see here, with 25 points, and Jacob Chambers with 24. Both of them, you'll hear about them later on in the Overachievers segment. But those guys were playing out of their mind, hitting three-pointers, playing good defense, and really put a bind on version 3. And it's really difficult what version 3 had to go up against, and with the point spread, it was almost insurmountable, and they walked away with a victory. Next Gen defeats, upsets version 3. So let's move on to the next game. Now, today I was supposed to have a guest, Mr. Nathan Harrell. Didn't show up. So it gives me an opportunity to tell you about some things that went on the game. First of all, Nathan had probably the best game he's played all season, scoring from the inside and outside, hitting threes, and keeping fast attack in the game early on. Matter of fact, it wasn't just scoring. He was rebounding. He was showing athleticism. Matter of fact, one specific play against the anonymous baller. Nathan tries to go between the anonymous baller's legs and is successful. Gets it through his legs as he's playing defense. Goes around him, goes up for the shot, but it's not where you start, young man. It's where you finish. The anonymous baller comes from behind, blocks the shot, out of bounds. Go try again. Maybe next time, young man, you'll get it done. But no Joe Brown, no problem. The 2.0 win 53-38. Next Gen upsets version 3 76-61, and that was the two games on Wednesday. Now, let's move ahead to Wednesday's scoring. Top 5 scores, as usual, top of the list, Ryan Wolf with 42. The anonymous baller in second with 33. Isaiah Barnes has a season high, dominated the game with 29 points. Ironically, in that game, 2.0 versus free agent 4, the anonymous baller didn't even score in the first quarter, leaving it all up to Isaiah Barnes, who came up big, scored a lot of points in the first half, on his way to a season high 29 points. So let's see, moving on here, where does that leave us with the standings? Okay, the standings. 2.0 is now 7-0. Version 3 drops to below 500 at 3-4. Fast Attack 4 is 2-5, tied with Next Gen, who's also 2-5, with 2 more games to play in the regular season. Then that's coming up this week. Then the next week starts the playoffs. So let's talk about our overachievers. We mentioned it a little bit earlier in the show. Now let's talk the top 5 overachievers. I mentioned it, Ronnie Wyatt. Outstanding game, not only shooting, handling the ball, keeping his composure, is the best I've seen him play. Simultaneously, you also have Nathan Harrell, who had an outstanding game. As I mentioned before, he was your second highest overachiever with 11 points over his season average. And Ronnie, I didn't mention, 14 points over his season average of 11. So Isaiah Barnes, 10 points over his season average. Jacob Chambers, 7.7. These are huge averages above their season average, huge scoring days above their averages. And the anonymous baller, 6.1 points over an already high season average. All right, now we got to talk about the underachievers. Ronald Tuck was your top underachiever, minus 6 points, held in check by the anonymous baller. William Haywood, minus 4.6. Another one of those free agent 4 players. Dominic Howe, another player from that team. As you can see, locked down by 2.0. All of the top or bottom underachievers were the top 3 were from Fast Attack 4. Last, Pascal at minus 2.5 and Mr. Crumb at negative 2.5. And let's get to the last part here quickly. Season averages. I know it's your favorite. You love to talk about them. Let's start at the top. We'll go with the top 5 scores. Ryan Wolf, 42.6 points a game. Joe Brown, 29.7. The anonymous baller at 26.9. That's almost 27 points, right? And then Isaiah Barnes, 18.4. Jacob Chambers moves into 5th place, 16.3. After that, let's talk about the other people who are averaging double digits. William Haywood, 13.6. Corey Van Oos, although he hasn't played in a couple of weeks, should be returning this week, 13.5. Now, a new challenger steps up for that Rookie of the Year, and that's Ronnie Wyatt. So another guy, along with Ronald Tuck. Nathan Harrell might be a little bit too far behind to catch up with those guys, but some rookies in the league who are stepping up and playing better have an opportunity. Dalton Zorns, 11.7 average. Ronnie, I mentioned him, 11 even. Ronald Tuck, 11 even. Nathan Harrell brings up his average. Now you're talking about all these rookies. He's 10.9, 1/10 of a point behind the other 2 rookies who are right ahead of him. And that ends all of the players who are in double digits. So you have all the scoring, you have all the standings, you have all the information, the update from this week. And I think that what we're looking at is an exciting league that's going to come to an end, and it's going to be pretty exciting to see who pulls it out in the end. So that's all I have for this week in review, the SPO Ballers League here at the luxurious, the beautiful SPO Studios. We'll talk to you next week.